What is up, everybody, and welcome into Bama After Dark. I am Jake Thomas. You know me well by now. Man, it's here finally, guys. It is game week, game day, Saturday. It's been a long time coming. I've told Stacy this multiple times. It seems like this has been the longest off season. It's the same as every other one. I don't know why. It just feels like it's been the longest off season ever. But with that being said, game week is upon us. And, man, I'm excited. Can't wait to talk to you guys about this matchup. Florida State, Alabama, Tallahassee. Weather's going to play a factor, looks like. So we'll talk all about that. And, of course, we'll have you comments in the chat as well. So get in the chat, say hi. Let me know where you're calling from or commenting from. Roll Tide or Go Seminoles. It don't matter. I hope we got some Florida State fans in here. But anyway, thank you all for listening tonight. Please like, share, and subscribe. And please hit that notification bell. That way you snow. That way whenever we go live. Montgomery. Anyway, Tristan, Ty Simpson day one. I love it, man. Love it. I'm excited about Ty, and we're going to see Ty in action this weekend, man. I'm excited. So let's go over just a few things, kind of what we know on how what's been planning for the week. We know that Jaden Roberts will not play in this game. Coach mentioned that in his press conference yesterday. He's the only guy that's probably not going to be healthy, to play. He's still going through the protocols for concussions and all that. Hopefully he gets better, but I want a healthy Jaden Roberts, for his sake, because concussions are nothing to scoff at. They are very dangerous if not taken care of properly, and I know that he's getting the best care there's out there. So continue. Hope he gets better, and I hope we get to see him on the field soon, because I really feel like him being a cog in this offensive line. I think this offensive line is going to surprise people this year, but they got to stay healthy. And right now they're with Jaden being out, it's not going to be the day one anticipation of what was going to be the starting rotation at offensive line. That being said, Gino is going to fill in his spot. Gino has come in and he was there last year. He was kind of like the sixth man offensive lineman, and he's going to play that role probably this year as well. But with Cam Dewberry winning, seems like he won the job on the left guard side. But getting Gino some of these reps, some of these snaps. If you guys remember, I think back last year in pregame warmups, I forgot who it was against, but me and Stacey talked about it a few weeks ago. In pregame warmups, Caden Proctor got hurt, so he was out of the game. Then, like snap 2 of the game, we had, I think, Parker Brailsford and Jaden Roberts both lose their helmets. So we had like 3 new faces on the offensive line and 2 plays. So that's how quick things can change on the offensive line, especially with the pop-off helmets. You got to run off for a play at least. So having a guy that you can insert that 6th man when something like that happens is going to be critical. So I'm glad he's going to get some experience. I really think he's going to do a good job this weekend as well. Things I've got my eye on is, of course, the weather. Looks like it's going to be raining. But how does that affect the game planning for Alabama? We know we won't – me personally, too. I want to see Ty attack the field. I want to see him push the ball down the field. How much is he going to be able to do that with a wet ball, with the ground conditions being as they are, and the running backs? How are they going to going to be with the wet conditions? Hopefully, they don't they don't have any kind of fumbles or anything or any mishaps. But overall, I'm really excited on how this offense is going to look, especially in better weather. Maybe next week when they get home, the weather will be a lot better. But I'm just excited, man. It's here. Justin said, "Roll damn Tide, Jake. Roll damn Tide, Justin. It's here, man. It's here." Man, I'm excited, and it's been, like I said, it's been a long off season, and we've been here every step of the way. I started this show in July, so I hadn't fully went through the summer. But I started this show here in July. I've been with Stacy since we've come back, and of course, I was on the SEC After Dark channel, or our show as well. So we've been here for a while, and man, it's exciting. And we'll talk about this game. We'll talk about a few others as well. I got my own, but defensively, I really want to see. I want to see James Smith, and I really think he will. I really see him, stepping up his game this year and taking that next step, being an elite, interior, D lineman that I know we know that he can be. Really like what he brings to the table. I'm glad he's healthy. Seems like he's going to play. Hopefully he's 100%. I haven't really heard where he's at, about 80, 90. Hopefully it is at 100. And I'm ready to see what he does in this game, because I really feel like he's going to be disruptive, along with LT Overton, along with Corey Russaw, along with Deontay Lawson. I mean, this defense is going to be nasty. Tough as nails. Roll Tide, y'all. Tristan said, I need this championship, number 19. Man, me too. It's I need a championship like every other year. Kidding. I know we're going to have some years where we're going to have some down years, kind of like last year. Last year was kind of it wasn't a disappointment. I guess it was for some standards. But when people say that Kellen DeBoer is going to be on the hot seat if he don't do something this year, his first year started at Alabama, he had the best record out of any coach in their first year at Alabama in its entire history. So y'all need to calm down a little bit, calling for, let's see how he does this year with, bringing back 9 of 11 starters on defense. That defense is going to be critical this year, I do believe. See the emergence of Ty Simpson, see what this offense can do in his second year. And a big thing that me and Stacey talked about, it finally feels like it's Kalen DeBoer's team now. So he's got the coaching staff. The coaching staff, Kane Womack said it best yesterday. They now know what the standard is and how to get to that standard and to live up to that standard in that we expect to be in Alabama. The standard is, number one, championships, being the best of the best of the best. This coaching staff now knows how that feels, now knows how to get there, and I really believe that they're going to get there. Rick at the Dart checking in from Gatlinburg. Hey, Rick, me and my family going to Gatlinburg in November. We're going to have a kind of a family vacation / Christmas. So, hopefully you have a good time up there and enjoy it. Be careful. It seems like every other week I see a story about a bear roaming in downtown Gatlinburg. So that's probably be kind of cool to see, but also kind of scary at the same time. Be honest, 2 years ago it was a nightmare because of who. We'll just leave that at that. Tristan just said it's not going to be pouring down rain, just going to be periodic. There is only a 40% chance around the time of a kickoff, and then tapers off. That's huge, because I know the first of the week they was talking about it's going to be there was predicting a rain out. So of course it seems like every 10 minutes the weather changes. So it's always good to keep up. I haven't really looked at the latest forecast down there the last couple of days. I think Monday they was talking about the rain out, but so that's good to hear, Justin. I'll be honest, the boys' press conferences are dry. I like listening to Grubb's insight. Grubb has got a lot of good insight. I really like Kane Womack as well. He has some great wisdom, and I really enjoyed him talking about how what Gus does and what to expect from a Gus led offense. So we'll see how that plays out. They got a new coordinator on defense, and Grubb mentioned that as well. But I'm more interested in seeing how this defense performs under a Gus Malzahn led offense, because I'm just going to be honest, and I'm sure you heard me on all of our shows I've talked about this 1,000 times, but Auburn made a mistake by firing Gus Malzahn. He had 3 wins against the GOAT, Nick Saban. He was getting 9 to 10 wins every single year. Since they fired him, they've been 4, 5, 6, and 7, things like that. So they really made a mistake. And honestly, I got to give credit where credit's due. Seemed like Gus always had a good game plan against Saban and the Tide when they played. So I know he's going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at us. He may even throw that in this game. But I feel like we have the players, we have the coaching staff. I'm not saying, we didn't have the coaching staff back then or the players. I'm just saying this is a new era type of football, a new era of Alabama football. I really feel like we're going to be okay in this game. I saw somebody on X, Twitter, whichever you want to call it, think that it's going to be. It might have been on one of our shows that Stacy did over the weekend on Tide Talk Live, but I really feel like it's going to be kind of a close game about halftime. But talent-wise, I really feel like Alabama is going to take over the second half. That's half of me. The other half, and I'm trying to not sound as homerish as I am, but another part of me feels like Alabama is going to dominate from start to finish. I get it. They brought in better players than they had last year. They got a different coaching staff outside of Matt Norvell, and they brought in Thomas Castellanos, who's probably an improvement of what they had last year. This team still went 2-10 last year. I mean, a big improvement for them this year will be 8 wins. It's going to be tough to get there, but I just don't see the roster that they have making that much of a difference. Now, they're going to be pumped up. It's in their home. They're going to be ready. They're going to have, someone will come out there and spike at the 50-yard line. They're going to have all that. But overall, Alabama is a more talented team. And in this game, they got to be the more physical team. They've got to, establish their dominance early on in this game and get Castellanos in trouble early. And then they'll set up in his mind. You saw that a lot at DC last year, Boston College. You get to him a couple of times, and he just starts getting erratic throwing the ball. So I really feel like LT Overton, James Smith, Deontay Lawson, Quay, all these guys are going to really have a big game, and they're going to pressure him. And I really feel like Womack is going to have some schemes. I know he don't blitz a lot, but he's going to have some free rusher loose on Castellanos, and then probably have somebody watching them so he don't scramble, because that's one of the big things that Castellanos can do. Let's see. Seminole Zach. Hey, Seminole Zach, enjoy. Thank you for joining. And yes, 100%. I don't want to see anybody get hurt, because injuries suck, no matter how bad they are. But yeah, it's going to be a good game. I wish the weather would have been a lot better. But we're going to get what we're going to have to take it as is. But I'm excited. Thank you for joining. And yeah, and outside of this game, best of luck to you guys, because honestly, when Florida State is at the top of their game, it just makes college football better. So, I would love to see you guys, win out, but only lose this game. But I'm just being a little biased here, but I really expect it to be a good game, and I do believe Castellanos is a better quarterback than what you guys had last year. Let's see. There's some more comments. Just I'm heading to Gatlinburg in a couple of weeks. My wife's birthday. Cool. Um, let's see. Tristan Road Tide Roll from Justin. 20 minutes ago, a bear appeared one parking lot away from the park grill. Oh wow. Okay. So yeah, it still happens. I figured it. I figured it did. The Bama team now and the coaching staff is totally different from the teams that play Gus and all. Absolutely, yeah, it's a totally different mindset. And that's why I mentioned that it's a different era, different, a different coaching staff and a different feel over this team. So I really think it is going to be different this go around facing Gus. Jamie Roberts' concussion has lingered too long. Do you think it's something else? I hope it ain't. And like I mentioned to start the show, I hope he gets better because when you're messing with concussions and it takes time to heal, you know, a lot of mental things happen and can go wrong. So I'm hoping for his health, for the future. I hope he gets 100% cleared of that concussion because concussion is no joke, man. I've never had one personally, knock on wood, but they're not to scoff about and no laughing matter per se because they're very dangerous. So before I get to my predictions, I'm going to throw a game out here and let's discuss it in the chat because I got this one on my eye as well. And we just talked about that team. Let's see. Roll Tide, DC Stadium, in Tallahassee will be rocking. Incredible first game for both programs. There's a path for both teams to come out okay if everyone wins, but FSU staying competitive both wins. Yeah, very true, Robbie. I agree. If it's like I think they can get away like a 34-17 type deal. I think there'd be 34-21. I think Florida State would be okay, even if that's kind of that spread. Even if they keep it within, the 13.5 point spread, I think that would really help them and boost them as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But what's your guys' thoughts on Baylor versus Auburn? I've been on SEC After Dark. We've talked about it at nauseum on that show. We're going to talk about it again Thursday night, of course. Hugh Freeze has got to win this game. And I am not a Jackson Arnold fan. I know what he did last year against Alabama. And what I know about what he did against Alabama, he threw it 8 times for like 68 yards. And he ran for like 120 something. And then the running back had even that much and more running. So it wasn't his arm talent that beat Alabama last year. It was Alabama's inability to stop Oklahoma from running. I hadn't really seen anything from Jackson Arnold. I know he's a 5-star prospect, and that could come out this year. I know he didn't have anybody to throw to last year because they had like 10 wide receivers injured. My thing is great players find a way to win with the talent they got around them. I just don't see Jackson Arnold being a great player at this point. I'm not saying he can't be, but we all know Hugh Freeze is not known to be a QB whisperer per se. They want to make him out to be, but Peyton Thorne was not. I mean, Peyton Thorne honestly regressed when he got to Auburn. He did have Malik Willis at Liberty, and he did really good with him. Other than that, he's had a few here and there, but Peyton Thorne regressed last year, and from the year prior. So Auburn's got to win this game. I just don't see how they go into Baylor and win. It's going to be an uphill battle. They're going to have a good defense. And another thing that I never understood why Hugh Freeze did not use last year is Jaquez Hunter. Jaquez Hunter was probably him and Dylan Sampson. I would say was probably the best bats in the SEC last year. I would probably put Jaquez just above that, but he never gave him the ball. He gave him the ball like 13 times. You don't have a Jaquez Hunter back there last year. You have a totally new running game. You have a totally new backfield. How's that going to gel? And how are you going to get out of situations and help Jackson Arnold, progress in this offense? I just don't see how that's going to happen. So, and Dave Aranda is going to, he's just going to put, be all over that that Auburn offense all night. I do believe. So I'm going to take. I think the spread is like 3.5 right now for. I think Auburn went pull back ahead for winning. I'm actually going to take Baylor to win outright and take the points, of course. So yeah, I'm. That's just my feeling. Similar Jack, Auburn's going to beat the hell out of Baylor. If Auburn gets a good quarterback play, they'll be a pretty good team. They may do it, Zach. I just don't know. I saw Jackson Arnold last year, and again, he had the issues, and he really didn't have anybody to throw it to. But Hugh Freeze is outside of the 2 games he's beat Alabama. He's just a good coach. He's not a great coach. He's not an elite coach. Just a good coach. And outside of that season that I think they went 10-2 at Ole Miss, which is great by Ole Miss standards. Don't get me wrong. Before Lane Kiffin got there, he just had 8-4, 8-5 seasons with Ole Miss. Then went to Liberty. It didn't play as stiff as competition, and dominated. Then come to Auburn and has not done anything since. I know Auburn's got better talent now on the roster than what they did when he first got there, but I just don't see how they have, and they need an 8-win season to keep his job. I do believe. I just don't see how they get there. Even if they beat Baylor, they may win 7, but it's gonna be tough. Ryan Flanagan, thank you for joining. Could be a shootout game or a close win. Not expecting a blowout. We talking about the Auburn game? If you are, I can see that. I do. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I do believe that Baylor at home is going to kind of make the difference. Tristan said I like Baylor. Ron also says, could Bama fans cheer on Tennessee against Georgia at Neyland? Whew. Me personally, I don't like both. I don't like either one of the programs. If Neyland Stadium can open up and swallow both teams whole, I'd be perfectly happy with that. I'm just kidding. I'm not that vicious. Yeah, I'm not going to cheer for either one. I'll watch the game, but I definitely will not cheer for either one of those teams in that game. Yeah, Free's upside is he's a distant recruiter. Yeah, he's not a great coach overall. He is a really good recruiter. I mean, look what he's done at Auburn. Besides this year, I don't know what's gotten into him this year. Just struggling on the recruiting trail. I think Hugh is going to struggle on the road this day and age. Home games are a big advantage with parity in college football. So tough as nails, you kind of insinuating there that Alabama is going to struggle against Auburn this year at Auburn. It seems like we do every year. Besides 1 year, I think we were beating like 36-0 down there or something. Yeah, I hope not. I can't stand that place. It's just a dadgum haunt. It's got demons in that place, and just a haunt factor. It's crazy. I don't understand. It's built on the Indian burial ground. Whatever it is, they need to bulldoze it to the ground and restart. It's just haunted. That's for sure. But one thing I think is interesting, since you brought up Jordan Hare, on I forgot what week it is when they play Georgia, they're doing a Cam Newton day. So they're going to be fired up. How's that going to help them? How's that going to translate to the field? Georgia, everybody probably saw a few weeks ago my prediction with Stacy about Georgia being 9-3. And one of those 3 losses I was at that time putting as an L to Auburn at Auburn. But Kirby is going to have these guys fired up in this game because, let's just be honest, and Auburn fans, I'm sorry. The only thing they have is Cam Newton to look at and to lean on, and the kid sits. I'm sick and tired of hearing about that too. But they're going to be fired up. Kirby's going to have his guys fired up, and it's going to be a great game. I think Georgia is going to pull out a win and that just because of all the festivities, and it may be it may be a struggle early, but I really feel like Georgia is going to pull away and win that game when that time comes. And unfortunately, they won't be able to roll Toombs corner. Boo hoo. Oh me. So Zach, as Alabama fans, y'all dislike more Auburn or Tennessee? Ooh. I'll put it like this, Cinema Zach, and the other guys can speak for this as well. And I'm going to paraphrase this a little bit. Derrick Henry one time was kind of asked a similar question that you have here, and his response, and like I said, I'm paraphrasing a bit. He said, "We hate Auburn because we have to. We hate Tennessee because we want to." Something to that effect. It's just I know the Auburn Alabama Iron Bowl rivalry is big, but since Fat Phil, 30 years ago, tried to pretty much shut down Alabama's football program. That's got to let the bad taste in a lot of fans, mouths. So they, I think it's more of a big deal. Jeb on SEC After Dark. He's a Tennessee fan. Me and him go after each other, but I respect him and I respect Tennessee fans. I just don't like their program and how he, Phil back in the day ran things, because he's just a con, just a snake in the grass type guy. So if he had a chance to do it again, he would probably try to do it again. Yeah, Tennessee fans, some of them are. Yeah, we've been to a Tennessee game. Me and my wife have a few years ago, and it wasn't that bad. I was actually very surprised on how they were. Now, I'll tell you what is insufferable is their band, because every time they get so and so runs for 2 yards, dun, 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 they play that fight song over and over and over every single time they get a yard. They're driving down the field, dun dun dun. I'm like, good gosh, make it stop. They will do that. So their band is kind of insufferable, because they will play that every single time that they call a play and they run it. Let's see. Anything else going on in the chat? Let me ask y'all this one real quick. How do you feel about LSU? You think LSU is going to have a big year? And the biggest question is, can they win their first game, since Brian Kelly haven't won a season opener game since he's been there? And it's a tough challenge. So it's going to be it's going to be tough for them. War chant, yeah. Oh man, that's gonna be. I do like y'all's because I'm a Braves fan, so I get to do that. Of course, being a Braves fan this year, I don't get to do it any because they're garbage. We're gonna hate the war chant. I'm not gonna be at that game. I'll be watching on TV. But yeah, I do like that, and I do love watching the Indian Chief spike the spike in the ground. That is something that's a time-honored tradition, and I love every single second of it. And like I said, I hope you guys get back to being an elite powerhouse, because when Florida State is at the top of college football, it just makes college football overall a better environment, a better product. So hopefully you guys can start heading in the right direction this year. Anything else? If not, I'm going to let's see. I like Clemson first game. That front four on defense, P. Wood. Yeah, that was one that got away from Alabama, and I may talk to you guys about that. My thoughts on that, at another time. And y'all may hate me for it, but it's just my opinion. It don't hold any kind of water. But if you would like for me to talk about my opinion on that one of these days, I will. But anyway, I'm going to move on to my prediction. It's getting about 30 minutes in. Been a great show. I'm sure y'all have heard my kid in the background a couple of times. So I need to get out there and see what see what kind of trouble she's getting into. My wife's trying to cook supper. I'm in here, so I'm sure my living room is destroyed right now. But hey, that's what you get with with the toddler running around, almost 2-year-old. So fun times, guys, fun times. But anyway, my prediction. I'm going to give some stats too. I think Ty Simpson throws a couple of touchdown passes, and I think Isaiah Horton has one, and I think Ryan Williams has one as well. I think Richard Young is going to have a good game. I think Dan Hill is going to surprise some people and not necessarily have a better game, but be just as good as Richard Young when he gets on the field. Defense, I think, is going to probably going to have some holes early to trying to get back into a well-oiled machine per se. Second half rolls around, they're going to be a lot better. I think Alabama can win this game, and I think Alabama's going to win. I'm going to say 34-17. And like I said earlier, if I think that will be a respectable. It may be 31-17. It may be 31-21. Even if it's a 10-point game, I think it really looks good for Florida State, kind of to see where they're at moving forward as the rest of the season. So I'm excited to to watch this game. I'm excited to watch college football, and I'm just going to tell you now, I'm going to be a blubbing idiot. Saturday morning because I know that last segment with Lee Corso, Kurt Herbstreit is going to tear up and probably start bawling his eyes out like he did in that ESPN special they had, and I'm probably going to do the same thing. You just don't have guys like Lee Corso anymore. I know he has had his issues the last several, couple of years, probably been the last three years. But what he meant to college football is it will never, nobody else will ever top that. And he, he's just a time honored tradition that we'll never have again. So I hope him the best, and I'm definitely going to miss him, and I'm going to definitely miss the head picks segments moving forward after this Saturday. But anyway, guys, 11-point spread, I would take it. Roll Tide. Yeah, I'll take. I think so. It's last I heard it was a 13.5-point spread, and some other betting places may have it a little bit lower, but so I'm 11 point. I'm happy with that. So I will take that. But anyway, guys, thank you all for joining. 22 people on now. Man, you jumped on at the last second, getting off of here. But I'm thank you all for joining. Please like, share, subscribe. I want to say Seminole is at 95. Thank you for joining. Like I said, I hope you guys the best moving forward. I hope you lose this game though. All in good fun though. Thank you for the interaction, and let's just hope it's a great game, and let's hope there's no injuries on any side that's significant that could derail the season for both teams. So anyway, guys, enjoyed it. Thank you all for listening. I'll be back next Tuesday with kind of like a recap, and then we'll preview the next game. That's kind of how we're going to do this season. So I'm excited for it. Football's back, baby. Let's go. Roll Tide. We'll see you guys next week. Get pumped up because I'm pumped up. Come on, we got to get through this. Let's go. Roll Tide.